Hey guys, thanks for tuning in. This is Couch Talk with Ed. Today I'm going to answer all your questions that you asked for the Q&A video. A while ago on my channel I did a Pickup Leftovers episode and I asked all of my subscribers, if you have a question for me, leave it down in the comments below. You guys did that. You did that on my Instagram, you did it on my Facebook, and here are the answers. The first question came from Instagram, and this is from Retro or Die, and he asked me, what made you start YouTube? Me and YouTube go back a long while. I actually started making videos and uploading them to YouTube around 2007 when I started playing in a band and we needed some kind of videos to promote on MySpace back then, because back then it was still MySpace that was the big thing. Nobody was talking about Facebook back then. So yeah, basically I've been playing in bands ever since. I've been just uploading videos of our live concerts on there, and a while ago when I started getting into retro games around 2009, 2010, I started noticing people on YouTube like Angry Video Game Nerd, Pat the NES Punk, the Game Chasers, which obviously have been a great inspiration to me, but of course other shows like Retro Liberty or the Retro Hunters that I think even did it before Game Chasers. Not too sure about that. Yeah, they were definitely a big influence. The Game Chaser style of filming is kind of like a reality TV, and that's what I wanted to do with my last band. Start uploading the stuff we do when you go to the studio, when you go touring and stuff, and just film interviews and make some cool videos out of it, but we never did that. So when my band quit, I really started going hardcore into collecting retro games, and it just kept leading on to, hey, are you gonna do YouTube videos about this or not? Are you gonna do it? And then my friend finally called me out on it. You probably can't do it. And I was like, I'm gonna do it. So we shot some test footage in August of last year, and well, it wasn't too good, but around, I think, October or maybe November, my first video came out, and I've been making videos every week ever since. So every week on Monday I put out a new video. There's been more videos a week. Sometimes I'll upload on Wednesday or on a Friday an extra video, but you can count on it that each Monday there will be a new video. So yeah, that's really what made me want to start YouTube. Just have something to do creatively. Even though everyone's already doing it with retro games, I just figured, hey, I'll join the pack, because I mean, it's fun and you get to meet so much cool people online that are also into the same stuff you are. And yeah, I'm really enjoying it. So that's why I started making YouTube videos on a dare. Like, you can't do it, and then I started doing it. So now we're here. In a Facebook group, I usually post my videos into. A friend of mine asked, Mike actually asked this. He asked a couple of questions. He asked, what's the budget? My budget seems to be around 70 euros a week. Not that I use it every week. I don't go out hunting every week. So I guess around maybe 200 to 300 euros each month, something like that I spend on games or toys, really. What's the max you can give to a game or toy? It depends for me if it's worth the price. I don't mind going up to like 50 or 60 euros. I have spent 100 euros on a game, or maybe a little more, but when the price hits that 100, it's really a tipping point for me where I kind of go like, I'll find it cheaper than this. I don't think I would spend more than 100 on any item now, because I've already bought like the most expensive stuff I was after. Then he also asked, what's your holy grail? My holy grail right now is actually the Mr. Gimmick cart. I'm not after a stadium events, not after a USA stadium events even. I want to get my hands on a Mr. Gimmick NES card. That's my holy grail. Then the last question Mike asks is, are you sometimes done with collecting? Like, do you want to quit, or do you just give up? I've actually done that. I've done that multiple times, not really giving up, but just, you know, taking a month off of going out and looking for stuff, not going to flea markets, being more occupied with music, and I have a house, I have a kid that I have to look after, so lots of stuff can get in the way. So it seems that when I was really going hardcore into just collecting, it would get frustrating quicker. Now it's really a hobby. I like going out, I like going looking for it. Even if I don't find anything, I still enjoy going out to the flea market or to a convention, having fun, and just looking at the stuff. So I don't really have any collector's fatigue. I can still find some stuff, and it's actually not too bad that I already have a big collection, because I don't find too much stuff, so I don't spend too much, in my opinion. So yeah, thanks for those questions, Mike and Retro or Die. On Facebook, from reedeema, who you might have seen in my last episode on the facts adventure I did with my friends. He came in and did some cool commentary on that video. Yes, red or blue pill. Now, I had to look this up. I knew it was Matrix related, but so what it means is if you take the red pill, you stay in Wonderland and you see how deep the rabbit hole goes. If you take the blue pill, you can believe what you want to believe. I don't know, I kind of want to go the Alice in Wonderland way, so I'd probably go for the red pill. So there you go, Ree. Hope that helps you out. On my YouTube page, I got loads of questions. I got 2 pages full. So let's get started. Game Grinder, the Game Grinder, he asks, how can I look up your band? Well, the 2 bands or 3 bands I play in now, they're all cover bands. So not really a way of looking them up, but my last band called Arizona, I will have a playlist up here somewhere for you guys to click on. You can check out my album I did with them, and there's also a live TV featurette where there's also an interview, but do keep in mind I was like 22 or 21 back then, so it's partially in English because our singer was from the UK, and yeah, enjoy it if you like Arizona. Our music should be out on all the digital platforms. You can still just stream it or go to the YouTube playlist I just said and enjoy it. So yeah, that's where you can find my band, my old band, Game Grinder.
Next question.
The Euro Retro Gamer asks, we know what you collect, but which retro system and which current system do you play the most? The current system I play the most has to be the Switch, and the retro system I tend to play a lot is the Super Nintendo or the Sega Master System, those 2. I usually go handheld, so I play Switch handheld. I will play the SNES on a Superboy or a Retro Geo Portable, and actually play Sega Master System on my Game Gear, because I have like an add-on that you can play Master System games on with. So yeah, I hope that answers your question. Cup of Tea for Me asks, where are you from and where are all these awesome retro gaming markets you go to in your pickup videos? I'm from Belgium. Lots of people have asked this. Belgium is part of Europe. It's in between France and the Netherlands and Germany. UK is across like this tiny river thing in between. Why does my voice sound American? I don't know. I used to watch Simpsons a lot. I did go to Canada a lot as a kid. I spent my summers there. But you would think I'd be saying a boot and a lot more than I do. The retro gaming markets we go to, I think Belgium is fortunate to have like 8 or 10 retro gaming conventions each year next to 3 Comic-Cons. So you have Comic-Con Ghent, Antwerp, and Brussels, and then we have FAX twice a year, so that's a sci-fi convention, but it's even bigger than the Comic-Cons. Then there's also like maybe 6 or 7 conventions in the Netherlands that sell retro games that I go to often, and there's just some toy shows I go to too. So it's all around Belgium. It's usually not more than a 3-hour drive for me. So if I think it's gonna be good, I head over there. But I do enjoy going to flea markets, just that you find less stuff there, and in order to have the videos be interesting, you gotta find something so you can actually talk about it. Not actually sure how to pronounce his name, but it's J-Ho Games. He asks, what's one game you'd like to see on the Switch? If there's one game I'd love to see on the Switch, it's Cuphead, because I really want to play Cuphead. Why don't these people realize that a Microsoft-only exclusive release isn't gonna help out other people? It's strange that they're thinking this way, but it's probably like the Crash trilogy is gonna be exclusive for Microsoft the first year, and then hopefully PlayStation 4 and Switch will get a release. So I'm really hoping for Cuphead. Secret of Mana, the remake, should also come over to the Switch. Why not? I mean, it was on the SNES, so might as well come back to Nintendo. Timothy Winthal, am I saying that right? He asks, how many NES games do you own? I own about 380 NES games right now. I'm close to 400, but I have to check the boxes because I picked up a ton of NES games in the past weeks. There's still videos that have to come out, so I can't show anything yet. What are some of your rare games and consoles? A rare console is probably I have a Sega Nomad that's in the box, so that's a rare console. I think that's the rarest console for me. I do have the Turtles European NES set, but that's just a regular control deck with just a cardboard sleeve that has turtles on it. That's nothing special. Then, so for the SNES, I have a couple of wanted. Games. I have Agane. I have the NTSC release for Chrono Trigger. There's King of Dragons. I have Knights of the Round. All the Turtle games I do have. They've been going up in price. For the NES, I have the power releases for Panic Restaurant. I have Little Samson. And I also have Power Blade 2, which shockingly this week I found out that it might be going for $400 now. That's insane. I bought the game back in the day for like 30 euros. And then it was maybe $100 game. Now it's really gone up in price. So yeah, Power Blade 2 is probably the most expensive one in there because the power releases of Little Samson and Panic Restaurant, they're around 150 to 200 euros. Not more than that really. Then Gamers in a Container asks, what was your first gaming console and game? My first gaming console I got as a kid was a Game Boy Pocket, the Gray Edition, and that came with Super Mario Land 1. And I played the hell out of it. I remember rage quitting each time I couldn't get past the first boss, you know, like in Egypt with the pyramids, the lion. But then after a while I got that, and I eventually finished the game. But yeah, that was my first gaming experience. The first TV console I got was the N64 with Mario 64. I had a ton of fun with that game. I finished it as a kid, and yeah, I really like all the Mario games, so definitely good ones to start with. Definitely good consoles to start with. Evil Laser asks, if you could only play 3 games for the rest of your life, what would those 3 games be? I would probably have to go for Wario Land, because it's my favorite game. So Wario Land on the Game Boy. I really like GTA San Andreas on a PlayStation 2. Maybe an odd choice for me, but I love that game. So that would be the second one. And I'm still not true enjoying Zelda Breath of the Wild, so I'm taking that. that Switch game with me. So yeah, Wario Land, GTA San Andreas, and Zelda Breath of the Wild. Next page. Transformers and Video Games asks, I know you're a fan of toys and video games and an avid collector of both. If you could only keep one and had to get rid of the other one entirely, would you keep the games or the toys? You know, there's pros and cons to collecting each. Games, I think, would not take up as much space as the toys. But then again, you know, the games aren't as great to look at as some of the toys. It's kind of a hard decision. This is a really tough question, actually. I don't know if I would get rid of the turtles and all the other cool toys or keep the games. I'd say keep the games because they don't take up as much space as the toys. Yeah, so if I would have to choose, I'd stick with the games, but that's never gonna happen. I'm gonna keep all the toys. So thanks for the question though. Then Retro Mickey 82 asks, if you could have any toy or guitar, what would it be? It would definitely be a guitar, because I haven't been buying any guitars lately. I think like in the past 4 years. In the past 4 years I haven't bought a new guitar. And it would be one of the 3 models I'm mentioning now. It would be a Gibson ES335 or a Dot model. So that kind of jazzy looking guitar. It would have to be either that one, a black Gibson Les Paul Custom, because they look badass and I love playing my Gibson Les Paul Custom. And third, it could also be a vintage Gibson RD, because I really enjoy playing those. The Gibson RD, like the first ones, actually had the first EMG kind of pickup in it, but it was a whole plate underneath the strings, so the pickup would be gigantic. Yeah, I'd be excited to get one of those and just try it out. So one of those Gibson models, definitely be a Gibson if I get a new guitar. So any 3 of these I'd be happy with. Then the Tattooed Toy Hunter asks, I always see your awesome TMNT collection, but do you collect any other vintage toy lines like you do TMNT? I don't really have that big of an obsession for any other toy lines. I would have to say the closest that it gets to is Toxic Crusaders, because it's practically Turtles. It's also Playmates. They kind of look the same. Yeah, but nothing as obsessive as Turtles, really. There's already too much toy line variations in the Turtles toy line that I kind of want to get. So yeah, nothing like that, really. A couple of toy lines I would like to get really into is Toxic Crusaders, like have a full set of that, which is doable. It only had 1 series. Yeah, so Toxic Crusaders, yeah. I hope that answers your question. Then, without further ado, Retro, how old are you? Okay, and where did you get that awesome He-Man shirt? Now, I'm 29 years old right now. Yeah, so I'm 29, and the awesome He-Man t-shirt you're referring to was actually a gift from a friend of mine who owned a clothing brand called That's Serious. Then later they had to legally change the name to Dead Shred or something. And yeah, he had this cool idea of He-Man with a skateboard. And my band was getting sponsored by his clothing brand back then, so we got the shirts for free, and that's where I got the shirt, and I still wear it because it's an awesome shirt. Blucher's Videos and Collectibles and Gorefest 99 asked kind of the same question. So Blueger's Videos and Collectibles ask, what toy line would you like to collect that you currently don't have in your collection? And Gorfist asks, would there be a toy line you'd like to collect? And if so, which one? I guess Mummies Alive is a toy line I own nothing of, but I did see the cartoon back in the day, so I'm hoping I can find something by Mummies Alive. Another toy line I'd really like to get my hands on is the Saturday morning cartoons of Disney, or the Disney afternoon specials. So toys of Tailspin and Darkwing Duck. And also, I'd love to get a lot more Skeleton Warriors. I really like that toy line. It's also Playmates. I have like one toy of that. So yeah, those 3 toy lines I really love to get into. Then Burger Brooders. So that's a Dutch channel, Let's Play channel from the Netherlands. So if you translate that, it's just Burger Bros. How much do you spend on games monthly? That's what I'm sneakily curious for. You said we could ask anything. So yeah, Mike kind of already asked this question. I think I spend around 200 to 300 euros on games and toys. I can't really... Sometimes I'll spend more on toys. Sometimes I'll spend more on games. Sometimes I won't spend the 200. It'll be less. Sometimes it might be a little bit more. But yeah, something like that. Nerd of the 80s asks, you seem to be a big Nintendo fan in terms of collecting. What's your favorite Sega game ever made? My favorite Sega game ever made would have to be... It's hard for me. I like Golden Axe on the Mega Drive or Genesis, and Streets of Rage. It has to be those two. I'd have to say Golden Axe. I love that game. Streets of Rage is really good too, but if I had to pick one of the two, it would have to be Golden Axe. Yeah, love that game. Played it a ton as a kid with one of my childhood friends. So much memories attached to it, so that's my favorite Sega game. Then Jeff Maya asks, what's your favorite place to hide and seek? I usually go for curtains when we're playing hide and seek. I haven't played hide and seek in 15 years, but maybe with the kid growing up, I might have to play it again. So I'd have to think about it and, you know, really get into it so I can beat her when playing hide and seek. I don't know. I usually go behind a curtain because you can kind of disguise it. If you crawl into a closet or into a cupboard or something,
it's painful, I guess.
What a weird question, dude. Then Area 51 asks, what's your most expensive piece in your collection? What is my most expensive piece in my collection? I think my boxed Technodrome would have to be that. So this is the box. I have the Technodrome over there out on display, but the Technodrome goes around 300 euros, something like that. So yeah, that would have to be the most expensive one. And like the Turtles NES set is really going up in price again. So one of the two. I guess the most expensive piece in my collection would have to be my Les Paul Custom. Knew you could buy these for 3,000 euros, but yeah, I bought mine for like 1,800, and I think the value would be around 2,200, so that would definitely be the most expensive piece in the collection. But that's a guitar. Kale Game Geek. Kale Game Geek. So the bald Game Geek asks, what's your favorite Ninja Turtle figure? I really like Triceraton, or Triceraton, yeah. He's like an orange Triceratops from outer space. The mold is fantastic on this one. So I really like this one, but the favorite, I did not own this one as a kid, but the one I really liked as a kid was Mutagen Man. I get him at a supermarket. My mom bought him for me. This is, of course, a new one. I didn't keep it on the card, but I had to get this one on the card. So, yeah, Mutagen Man. You could like put water in him and put like all these tiny pizza parts, a tiny turtle, screws in there, and it would just be floating around. So this was a really cool figurine back in the day, and it just looks really quirky, filled with water, mutant floating guts. Yeah, this one and Triceraton. And then we've come to the last question of the Q&A. Oh my god, we totally did it, guys. And the last question was actually the first question that somebody asks, and this was by Sir Phantom. He said, I will start this one off. What are your all-time favorite hardcore punk bands? Oh, this is a tough one. So I actually asked him, like, what do you mean? Do you mean hardcore punk like in the 80s, like Black Flag and stuff like that? And then he said, no, it's you can pick any year, any genre within hardcore and punk. So yeah, I'm just gonna say the 5 that come to mind right away. I love Shai Hulud. I like Dillinger Escape Plan. I love The Descendants. They're one of my favorite bands ever. I love Belvedere. They're a Canadian melodic technical punk rock band that shaped the way I play guitar, really. Scott, the lead guitarist in there, is my hero. And then I always liked the first albums that Sum 41 did. I grew up with Sum 41, Blink-182, Green Day, all that kind of stuff. So yeah, Sum 41 and NoFX. Oh my god, yeah, I totally love NoFX. Most of their records are pure gold. So yeah, definitely NoFX too. So yeah, but I'm also into jazz, classic rock, and metal. I like a lot of metal. I enjoy all of the black metal stuff, the classic metal bands like Iron Maiden and stuff like that. But yeah, Trivium is also one of my favorite bands. So hopefully that answers your question, Sir Phantom. Thank you guys for watching this Q&A. You can always subscribe to my channel to see what kind of videos I make. I mainly do game hunting videos and talk about retro games and retro toys. You can also find me on Instagram. You can find me on Facebook, so definitely go have a look over there and leave a like maybe. And yeah, I will see you guys next week on Monday because that's when I put out a new video every week. See you guys later. Bye.